What's going on, guys? Matt Manduke here, and what you are looking at is the hotel that I stayed in Indianapolis. And I stayed there actually with a roommate that is hopefully watching this, because I actually did manage to retrieve this good footage off of the drone. But immediately when I landed it, for the rest of you guys, it wouldn't let me retrieve it, and the only copy I had was what the phone stores, because you do get a backup with the Spark. Is whatever it streams to the phone, it also records on the phone. But this is gonna be 1080, and this is much better, and I think I'm actually gonna upres this to 4K. That said, this is the most beautiful and scenic area around this hotel, and it's probably the most scenic thing that I saw while I was in Indianapolis, with the exception of the speedway that you guys have already seen, because that was really cool, but it wasn't very scenic, not in the same way that like natural beauty is. But I don't believe that anything that I saw there was natural, because you can kind of see the stream that feeds that water there, and it's more or less a ditch, and you can kind of tell that it's man-made, that river has been routed through the city. Although I wouldn't call it a river, it's more of a stream, and it's not even really deep enough to kayak in, but that could be because it's not the rainy season, it's the winter months, and the winter months are the dry season. But yeah, so I spin around a little bit, and you guys can see what's in the area. And it is at sunset, so lighting's a little bit weird, and I spin around a little bit more. And what I believe you're looking at there, yeah, that's the Napa distribution center, and you can on the other side, I don't know what this building here is that I'm over, but I'm actually on the other side of this building. That's where that stream was. I didn't actually move the drone until I went this way, but because I'm standing on the other side of that large building, I can't fly very far in this direction. But I wanted to get over the Napa distribution center so you can see how big that is, and it actually has a storefront to it, which is kind of interesting. I did not go in there while I was there, because I have no need for anything from Napa, because, well, as it is, I was staying in the extended stay America, and just waiting for a trainer. And when I got with the trainer, then I wouldn't know how much space I had until I got with the trainer, and now I know how much space I had. And he was surprised it only had the 2 bags that Werner allows you to bring, but that's all I got, and that's all I really need, because I have a way of doing things that's a little bit different. So where this hotel is actually what seems to be like an industrial park. And so you can see the clover leaf. It is the exit from the highway there, which I believe is 435, Interstate 435, which actually goes all the way around Indianapolis. And then you can actually see the extended stay America. There are 2 in that area, but Werner stays in the 3rd floor. And actually, I believe I was in 306, so that would put me right there, because there are 2 windows in each room. And then you can see how large the hotel is, and this is another one that has a pool, but it's covered. It's an outside pool. The hotel I'm actually in now for Christmas, because I'm filming this on Christmas Eve, even though I shot I'm recording the audio on Christmas Eve, even though I shot this video, I want to say December 14th. So I fly up the highway a little bit so you can see how dense the traffic is there, and you can kind of get an idea of that. And then I'm actually getting into the way the sunset is, so I know at some point I turn the camera and I go out the other direction. Maybe it's now, I don't know. No, I think right now I'm trying to get my bearings on where I'm at, so if that's in Napa, then I'm to the left. And there's a lot of cars parked in that area, so that might be another hotel, I don't know. It might be a business of some sort. That's something I cannot answer, because I don't actually know. But yeah, so I come back, and then you can see the little pond where I started at, and I'm off to the side of that. And I go off in this direction, and in this direction, like I said, I'm starting to kind of get into the fact that the sun is behind the drone, and the way that the sunset is actually hitting the trees, I think, is very interesting. And I pan off to the side a little bit. I know I go to like the other side of the interstate there. there's just like exits everywhere for it. And Indianapolis was kind of an odd city because it's a big city, but I don't even know that you can see the couple big buildings that are in it. It's set in a quadrant, so there's like metropolis. Not that it is a metropolis, it's not that big. I mean, it is a large city, and I believe it's the capital of Indiana. However, it's not like a megalopolis like New York City. Oh yeah, you can see there's a couple big a couple big buildings. There's only a couple of them, but like that's a quarter, and then the raceway is in like another area, and then we're like in an industrial zone. It's an interesting setup for the city, and I don't mind it really, but it was a little bit boring. The safety, I don't know, the lady that gave the safety meeting every morning, they actually do that in the hotel for this terminal, it's the Indianapolis terminal. She was saying that there are shooting ranges within the area, and you can like, spend $50 and do some target practice, and they let you use their guns, which I think is fairly cool. So at this point, I'm starting to work on actually landing. And that pond I found to be fairly interesting. It did have a little bit of ice on top of it, but you can see me vaguely. I'm in that like cutout round thing there. But I take my time in bringing it down, which neither here nor there, but I kind of pan out a little bit, and I get a little nervous about those lines, so I think what I'm doing here is I'm flying it by sight instead of flying it with the controller, which is what I normally just go with the controller and what I can see with the camera. But I think I was kind of looking for a dramatic shot here, and I don't really know why, but I think it's mostly because there wasn't a whole lot to do and look at when I flew the drone. There wasn't anything that was really that interesting because the tops of distribution centers just aren't that interesting. And large buildings could be interesting, but they have to be tighter together than these ones, and these ones just weren't. And I do imagine where I'm standing is actually fairly pretty in the summertime, but in the wintertime, as you can see, I'm standing in like a crest of dead trees. Not that I know that they're necessarily dead, but and you can see how pretty that water is. You could just drink that, couldn't you? You can see that I'm starting to move it, and then I flip it back, and I think I just bring it in here. So let me go ahead, and if you guys enjoyed this and you want to see my other drone videos, you can check out that video there. Or if you want to see what I'm like when I'm angry, you can check out that video there. As always, guys, I want you to like the video, subscribe, and I really want to thank you for watching. I wouldn't do this without you. I'll see all my friends later.